to access your money the way you want, online, through our mobile app, or with your debit card. It's your money and your choice. To learn more about the account that's right for you, stop by one of our offices or visit us at jcsbank.com. Jewett City Savings Bank, member FDIC.
Spring is here and Easter is almost here as well. Spring flowers and arrangements are now ready for you at Jewett City Greenhouse and Florist. There's no better place to get a beautiful Easter lily either for yourself or as a gift.
There are all sorts of advertisements that ask you to shop local. When you think local car service and repair, look to Winton Automotive on North Main Street, Jewett City. When you go to Winton Automotive, you deal directly with the owner, Ken Winton. How's that for peace of mind? Brakes, tires, oil changes, or general maintenance. And Winton Automotive even posts helpful info on Facebook that may prevent costly repairs. Winton Automotive, North Main Street, Jewett City, proud sponsor of Wolverine Baseball on SNSN.
Your community radio.
Live from Main Street.
Don't change anything. I love your show just the way it is.
Mike Minarski and Paul Lash in the morning. And 80s all day and night. Your community radio.
SNSN.
Your community radio.
Live from Main Street.
Mike Minarski and Paul Lash in the morning and 80s all day and night.
SNSN.
Like they always say things that aren't stupid usually. And when they are stupid, it's funny.
And good morning. There we go.
Yep.
There we go.
Got it.
How was your Easter holiday?
Well, it's the first time in a long time people were able to get together.
Yeah.
Think about it.
That's right, since COVID and stuff.
It's COVID stuff, people from getting together on Easter.
I think people were doing it anyway for the most part, but, just kind of keeping it on the down low, wondering if the Gestapo was going to come to their door
Now it's legal.
and say, excuse me, how many, do you have more than 8 here? No.
Yeah. I wonder how many FBI agents actually
Zero.
participated in somebody's
Zero.
dinner.
Zero. All right, Paul, you got the weather?
I do.
Then we'll get into some very important stuff.
Okay. Well, the temperature downtown Jewett City right now is around 37 degrees. I mean, mostly sunny skies this morning, which will become cloudy this afternoon. Highs will be somewhere around 57 degrees. Little wind, 10 to 15 miles per hour. But tonight, rain likely, lows around 42. And of course, for Tuesday, it's going to be cloudy skies, followed by some partial clearing in the afternoon. Highs will be somewhere around 54 degrees. Again, the wind will blow between 10 to 20 miles an hour. I don't want to get rid of all this wind. I mean, come on, this is April, going on May.
Yeah.
Of course, for Tuesday night, partly cloudy skies, lows will be somewhere around 38 degrees. And that's your weather from SNS on. And this Monday, 04/18/2022.
All right. Thank you very much, Paul. We certainly hope everyone had a very nice Easter.
Yeah. Well, now you can eat anything you want if you were fasting for Lent, that's for sure.
That's true.
Yeah.
So let's get there's no other way but to just get right into it.
Okay.
Over the weekend, the community was deeply saddened by 2 teenagers that were in an automobile accident. 2 Plainfield teenagers.
Right.
We're not going to mention the names. The people that know the names are the ones that need to know, and I don't feel it's important for us to go ahead and talk about names, because, like I said, the people that need to know and are the ones that know, and that's the most important thing.
Yep.
The car hit I believe it was a telephone pole. Let's see. I'm gonna read what I have from State Police. The car they were driving, which was an Audi, was traveling north on Water Street in Canterbury, approximately 1/8 of a mile before Kinney Road. The Audi failed to maintain their lane while negotiating a curve and struck a utility pole on the right shoulder. So there's that. There was 2 young men in the car. One unfortunately passed away, and one was life starred to Hartford Hospital. The sad thing is, of course, losing one young man
Mhm.
or any teen or any person.
Yep.
But it's extremely difficult, of course, when it's a child.
Mhm.
And the other child, I don't know. I've only heard. I'm not going to speculate on anything. The last I heard from first responders is that he was stable,
Which is good.
which is good. So there you go. What it happens way too often. It's happened, I know it's probably people can just say, "Oh, it's just a fact of life. These things happen." Well, yes, it does happen, but how can it not happen? How can we stop it? How can we help prevent it? What is something that can be done that's not being done that these horrible tragedies, will either diminish or not take place? I mean, it's horrific. I mean, I didn't know these two young men personally. I knew of them through what it is we do here. I had spoken to both of them before for different reasons.
Mhm.
They're Plainfield High School students. But I didn't know them personally. So I'm not going to, claim that I did or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just the same, when you hear, this type of story or this type of event that happens, what's the first thing you do, Paul?
I don't know. You feel bad for the people, that's for sure.
Well, me, I try to find out where my kids are.
Oh, see. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not in that situation.
Just because
Yeah.
you don't know.
I mean, when I
know?
did have them, I always was concerned.
Sure, of
You know,
course.
I have a grandson that drives a car. And I told you this off air. He has a car that's pretty fast.
Mhm.
One of those real fast cars. And
Right.
we talked about it yesterday at Easter, and mentioned to him, hey, you got a car there that wouldn't take much to get out of hand with you. So but, that's all you can do is tell them, this is a situation where, you got to be careful when you're driving. You can't, just go crazy. So something happened that veered off.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know, but
and I'm not
again,
not going to speculate.
No, you can't. But something made him go off the side of the road where you turn your head, whatever. Who the hell knows? But just let you know it can happen. So.
But I mean, there are a bunch of people in the chat room, and I know some of them are educators. What is it? Something that we can do to prevent this from happening as often as it does? I mean, this is. I mean, it's especially hard when you hear about a teenager, that loses their life in an automobile accident.
Yeah.
Look what happened 10 years ago.
Like Grizzle.
Here in Grizzle, 4
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it was car versus tree. This was a car versus tree.
Yeah.
One did survive.
Yeah.
But he's having a rough time.
Yeah.
Because now you live with all of that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. There's always been a lot of education on driving, and the big thing was, if you remember a while back, was texting and driving. There was a lot of stuff going on with that. Not that the kid was texting, but I'm just saying
we don't know.
You don't know, but I'm just saying. I mean, there was some education done. So
is there enough?
Yeah, in today's world, a lot of the cars today, they're not made out of steel anymore either. They're plastic,
like paper mache.
Yeah. So when you hit something, they're made to
crumble.
Yeah, break away. So, but yeah, it's they're not slow either. They're fast. A lot of cars today, they're fast.
But what do we do as a society? I mean, does somebody lobby for better driver's education classes? Because you know damn well, just like I do, there's a lot of things that they just push kids through, and here you go.
I mean,
not saying this is an issue either, but I mean, is this something that's even talked about?
Yeah, I mean, they used to. A lot of places do driver education. You know, I think a lot because I think what they do is they get a break on their insurance or something if they have driver's ed. They get something as a result of having a driver's ed certificate.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Hey, good morning, John Lake. Good morning. He makes a statement, which I just read while you were talking, and I'm going to read it to you, Paul, because I know you can't see the screen. He says, I don't know the details of the accident, but any accident that results in a fatality or serious injury is certainly a tragedy and a loss for the families involved. I just have to go back to education from the home, school, and anyone that has lived through these tragic events. I would suggest seminars and have individuals come into the high schools and talk about the almost fatal experience that they have lived through. But in any regard, more does need to be done.
It's a scary thing when you get a call. I remember way back when my daughter was like a teenager, or maybe 18 or 19 years old, and we got a call from a motorist saying that your daughter was in a rollover accident. She's on her way to the hospital, blah, 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 blah. You know, and you get that call, scares the crap out of you.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
Unfortunately, and this was on 395, just right outside of Griswold, many years ago. The car went up over the bank and rolled over. Unfortunately, she came out of it. There wasn't really anything. Both of them came out. Boyfriend and her came out. Nothing really serious. But you get that call, it scares the crap out of you.
When I was about 12 years old, one of the kids I used to hang around with in town here, his name was Kenny Hill.
I know Kenny.
You know Kenny? Yeah, of course. Yeah, you would. Yeah. As far as the rock and rollers.
You got it.
Yeah. Kenny and I we used to be very close, you know, as young kids.
Yeah.
Well, I was at his house staying for the weekend, which I did a lot.
Yeah.
And his brother Timmy had come home from a prom, and they had received word that somebody didn't, and it was a young man, and I remember it to this day. He was 16 years old. His name was Carl Adamowitz, and he died in an automobile accident on prom night.
Wow.
So I don't remember the circumstances or how it happened or whatever, but still, these are things that have been happening. I mean, as you far back as I can remember.
It's always been that. It's always those calls come in, especially this time of year. For some reason, the spring seems to be the time of year that everybody's getting out and flexing their muscles and things happen.
Sure. I mean, you get the adrenaline flowing and stuff like that. But I guess my whole point in this conversation here this morning is that there is so much, there's education and programs talking about drugs and becoming drug free and, you know, wonderful things like that. Or gambling and different addiction services. What about continued driver's education or like Mr. Lake says, you know, have kids that have survived these accidents come speak.
Yeah.
You know, have counselors come in and speak to what happens.
Yeah,
you remember back in the 70s and the early 80s, they had a program called Scared Straight.
Yeah.
And it was geared towards these young, possibly hoodlums.
Correct.
You know, they were getting in trouble. We're talking 13, 14, 15-year-old kids.
Yep.
You know, they would be brought in and the inmates would scare the living bejesus out of them.
Yeah, they would.
And hopefully, in hopes that these kids would straighten out and not commit, you know, because a lot of it was petty theft and, you know, petty crimes. But, you know, sometimes that leads to other things.
Yeah.
Doesn't always help, but, you know, if you can save one kid, you know, from that, why not? Why don't we do? And if we do, why isn't it out there even more about driver's education and the dangers? Because there's, you know, of course, kid, you don't get 16 years old, right? Oh, I'm going to get my driver's license. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to do my thing. Yeah. There needs to be more education.
Yeah. Well, if you remember years ago, a few years ago, they used to bring a wreck to schools. The state police would bring a wreck in and they would explain what happened with the wreck. I mean, if the car would be a total, it'd be destroyed.
Right.
And they would talk about situations, how this accident happened and what you got to watch out for. I don't think they've done that for a while. Well, COVID being around, a lot of things stopped. Don't forget, we've going 2 years with kids not even being at school. So, so a lot of that education is long gone, but,
Well, here's one from Bob. Speaking about education, I just registered my motorcycle. There's a fee on there to pay for driver's education. Where does that go to? Good point. I don't know.
That's the other thing that's kind of dangerous this time of year is motorcyclists. Not necessarily the motorcycle driver themselves. It's the other person who can't see the motorcycle driver.
Well, I will say something about that.
Yeah.
I think it's both ways.
Yeah. There are idiots. I agree.
You see bumper stickers that say, watch out for motorcycles. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you don't want anybody to get hurt, for any reason, even somebody driving on the side of the road with their bike, or moped. You don't want anybody to get hurt at all. And if not, you're a sadistic jackass. You don't want that to happen.
No.
However, it does.
Yeah.
And then how many times has it happened to you, Paul, where you were just driving and moseying along and all of a sudden you hear meow, and all of a sudden it catches up to you and it scares the living crap out of you because it passed you doing 100 miles an hour on your left-hand side, or even worse, on your right-hand side, or even in the breakdown lane.
That is true. I've seen that many times on 395. They'll weave in and out of traffic and get down the highway at least at 100. You're absolutely right. And they weave in and out, and no helmet.
But how many times does that scare people that maybe they could get into an accident?
That's the other
because it just kind of creeps up on you.
Yeah, and the other thing too, a lot of times they don't realize this, but a lot of people pass on the right.
Yeah.
And if you're not paying it, many times you go to pull over, and all of a sudden this person is flying up the right hand side, and you can't even pull over. I don't know what the rules are in Connecticut, but it used to be you're not supposed to pass on the right. But I don't know if they really enforce that. But you're right. They do pass right, left, middle. They don't care.
I know a lot of people that ride motorcycles. Yeah. A lot of, and they're not thugs or, they're good people and, but they ride bikes.
Yeah.
I wish I wasn't so damn afraid of them because it looks like fun. Yeah. But, I don't know. I mean, I've seen it happen way too often, these things.
Yeah.
Wrong way drivers.
That seems to be the thing that's going on.
Yeah, that's like a thing.
Yeah.
It's like a thing these days. It's almost like a member of a club.
I don't know what the state of Connecticut has to do something because for some reason, and I know a lot of times the people are intoxicated when they get on these wrong lanes, but they got to do something to stop it. Either put something down where if you go the wrong way, your tires flatten out, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's better to have them lose 4 tires than to kill somebody.
If you get into an argument with your spouse, if you get into an argument and then that spouse gets angry, male or female, and they file a police report, you may or may not get arrested depending on how violent it is.
Yeah.
So what generally happens? Well, I've known people that they have been ordered to take anger management classes.
Yeah.
Okay. It's something.
Yeah.
Right? What about, is education mandated for people that get into automobile or motorcycle accidents that they are at fault for?
No, not really. I don't think there's anything that forces anybody to take a class.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it was a DWI, then you're forced to take a class. But other than that, I don't know of anything,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they're really just accidents. They just happened.
They do. They do.
It wasn't something. It just couldn't be avoided, and it happens.
Yeah. Bob says that's a small percentage of bikes most follow the rules, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
But there is that small percentage. Here's the thing, okay? If I'm driving a Volvo, which is supposed to be a very, very safe car, one of the more safe cars, right?
one of the safest cars on the road.
So let's say I'm driving a Volvo, and I'm driving like an idiot. Okay. And then I cause somebody else, and I get in a little fender bender.
Yeah.
Or perhaps they pass away.
Yeah.
What happens to me? I'm going to get taken up on manslaughter charges.
That's correct. Involuntary manslaughter.
Mm-hmm. So I guess what happens when you're on a bike? So the thing is this, to me, it's like there's a greater risk, obviously, if you're on a bike
absolutely.
than if you are in a car.
Absolutely.
So that small percentage of bikers that get in, or these accidents or whatever, you would think that they would be eradicated, diminished.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. I don't. I mean, getting back to the teenagers, I don't know what they can do. Other than a parent telling I'm sure when kids leave, be careful. You're going out tonight, be careful. Parents generally just say that. Right.
I know. I know. After this happened, Melissa's son Cameron came out, and we all had a conversation about it. And he's very aware. He knew the boys. Yeah. He knew the boys. They all know each other. Like I said, through travel ball and playing sports against each other. And he just looked at both of us and said, he goes, "That's not me." He goes, "That's not something that I would do." Well, and I don't think he would, to be honest with you.
Well, the thing is, when it happens, you're aware of it, but then it becomes out of sight, out of mind, and you go right back to where you say you wouldn't do it, but when you have kids in the car, there's peer pressure, and by right, I'm trying to think here. Is the state law in Connecticut that you're not?
Cameron's even said that he won't get in the car. He will not get in the car with some kids.
But here's the thing. Isn't there a law in the state of Connecticut that if you are under the age of 18, you're not allowed to have a passenger?
I think so.
So,
or only family only.
All right. So this was two kids under the age of 18. What was the passenger doing in that vehicle? It's against the law. I know. I hear what you're saying. But that's the state law. You're not supposed to have. They did that to help out. That's what the legislature did to stop some of these teenage accidents that were occurring.
Bob says, when you were dating Melissa, meaning me, you cut me off downtown. Well, sorry. Wasn't meant to happen. I think that's why they call them accidents.
Yeah.
If it was meant to happen, I'd have hit you.
Yeah.
But I'm not like that, Bob. So.
Well, and that was the reason for the law. That was the reason for the law.
Yeah.
And it's right. So that's the case. Then that law was broken.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong. The law was broken. That's just the way the law is.
Either way, it's still tragic.
It was tragic, absolutely, and and that was the reason why the legislature attempted to do something with this: no passengers under the age of 18. Yeah. So
our condolences definitely go out to the families.
Yeah.
Of course, one to the family that the young teen passed away, and then of course the other where the teenager is at Hartford Hospital.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be okay.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. I think like one of the things and I think about this a lot because I do worry about a lot of the teenagers that are out on the road, and especially ones that are learning. Like Cameron, we talk, like when he's in the car with me, we'll talk about it a little bit. And he talks about his personal fears about driving and who he will not or get into the car with or whatever. So I'm more and more comfortable because he's thinking and he's thinking about it. And I always tease and say, I drive like an old Pepe because I do.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'll look and I'll say, well, look at me. I'm undefeated. Still here. So, but I think there needs to be more of that. just talk
Well,
about it.
yeah. Unfortunately, today a lot of parents don't
Get the kids to
they
talk
don't-
about
they don't-
it.
They don't talk to their kids about driving. Yeah, I doubt it.
You don't think so?
No, I doubt it.
Okay.
I doubt it very much. I mean, will they say when they leave, be careful? You know, you're going out tonight, be careful. That would be the extent that I would think that they would, say something.
I think it's got to be brought up all the time.
Yeah. I mean,
Until both are comfortable with it, because you have to make sure. I don't know. It's just got to be instilled in their heads. My mother did that to me.
Yeah.
I took her car the first day I got my driver's license. Now, this is back then when you were 16. There were no restrictions. You got a driver's license. You can go anywhere you wanted to, you could drive whatever. I went downtown because she wanted me to get her a pack of smokes. Yeah. That was another thing you could do back in the day. You could go down and get your parents whatever it is they wanted from the store.
Yeah. I mean, plus,
well, what the story is that I backed into a pole and smashed her taillight.
Oh boy.
So of course, very minor accident, but I remember that to this day. Yeah. I mean, I've been in some minor fender benders, not many, but a few. Thank God they haven't been serious or anything.
Yeah. Well,
and I know what it's like to feel to get rear-ended. I can just imagine what these poor young teens felt. It's horrible.
Well, the other thing too today, a lot of parents want to buy their kid a car, not looking into what kind of car it is. A lot of kids like, let's face it, how many kids like Hondas today, and the whole Honda thing with the big pipes on the back and all the other.
Sure. Yeah.
Hondas are fast cars.
Honda, a lot of kids.
Subarus.
Get a Honda Accord. I want a Honda Accord.
Subarus,
Prelude.
Those kinds of cars. A lot of people buy their kids. A lot of us back in our day, in your day, you had to buy your own car.
Sure.
Today parents are a little bit more lenient. They'll spend the money to buy the kid a car. Not that this was the case in this particular incident, but and they don't realize that what they're buying is, shouldn't give it. It's like giving a 17-year-old or a 16-year-old a gun when you give them these fast cars. Now give them your Buick, and that would be a different story.
So now here we are trying to facilitate a conversation, about, what's, what can we do? What can possibly be done on a larger scale, a statewide, community-wide scale, to help prevent these tragedies from happening in the future. I don't think there is a real answer. I think, unfortunately, people are people. Kids are going to be kids.
I think a lot of kids, both in Plainfield and some in Griswold, are going to hear this, and it's going to stay in their mind for a while. Yeah. Eventually, they're going to forget about it.
I never forgot that accident when I was 12 years old.
Yeah, but that was your personal accident. That was
no. I was at a friend's house, and
when an accident happened.
Yeah, when this kid Carl out of Mowitz died on prom night. Yeah, and we're talking over 40 years ago, and I still remember it. And I only met the kid once. Yeah, and I remember his name and how old he was. Yeah, so it stuck with me.
Yeah, well. I don't know if it would stick with them. I mean, it's like I said, it'll be out of sight, out of mind. A month from now, 2 months from now, they'll forget about the whole thing. That's generally what happens, and there'll be somebody else that'll be.
Who will forget? The kid that was in this accident.
No.
He'll never forget.
But those around us, those who heard about it, those that, they heard about it, but didn't happen to them. So a month, 2 months later, they'll forget about it, and they'll be doing the same thing, whatever happened, do something stupid, and things happen. But this time of year is bad. How many times you hear accidents occurring around graduation time? Been a lot of them.
Sure.
Happens always this time of year.
Springtime.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I hope some kids have learned from this thing. Mm-hmm. And they'll smarten up and be a little extra cautious. So all you can do is hope.
So is it the kid's fault, or is it our fault as as adults and educators fault for not getting the proper information to the kids. I mean, where does the fault, if there's any fault at all?
I don't think there's any fault.
Okay.
I mean, you do your best to tell the kids what they can do, what not to do, and to be careful and all that stuff. But you can't. They're going to do what they're going to want to do anyway.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm certainly not, a maven on this subject. I'm not. But I was hoping other people would say what they thought would be able to. So if we don't know, I guess how do you fix it if none of us know?
None of us know.
Or if it's even fixable.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, think of the car accident. Look at the boating accidents happened over the weekend. I mean, how many drownings has occurred just this past weekend? A couple men died here. There's a young kid. A couple of young kids died.
Where was that?
Mystic down that way. I'm not sure, but a couple of young kids.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
I think they were in a canoe. I thought I heard they were. I don't know, but still, those boating accidents happen the same way. I'm not sure about the two guys that drowned. And then there was another tip over in the river down towards Saybrook. The boat capsized, and they were looking for one guy, but he was able to swim to shore, so he made it out okay.
Mm-hmm.
They were looking for him, but the boat capsized. So there's been the boating accidents now are coming out, which is kind of surprising. There seems to be a bunch of those happening over the weekend. Mm-hmm. So
are they accidents or pure carelessness?
Who knows?
Or a mixture of both?
Could be a mixture of both. Could be drinking on the boat. Who the hell knows? I don't know. Whatever. But there were some things that happened.
Either way,
you can't prevent these things from happening.
No, I know, but maybe you can minimize them,
Well, all you can do is talk about it, and hopefully people hear it, and hopefully they listen to it and put it in the back of their mind. That's what you can do.
I mean, we try to keep the community updated on what's happening around in our area here in Eastern Connecticut. And one thing I dread is opening up my email, from a press release from Connecticut State Police or somewhere, Norwich Police, to see something like I saw over the weekend. Your heart just falls, right into the pit of your stomach. Yeah. I can't even imagine. Yeah. Can't even imagine what the parents felt. Yeah. I mean, it's tragic.
It's tragic.
So how can we minimize that so it doesn't happen as often? It's going to happen.
All you can do is talk about it. Like we're doing now, like what the press did, to talk about it. People become aware of it, and hopefully people listen, and they say, and they talk to their kids about it.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
I think you're right.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't think there is a state program
where
there's, or something that, can go ahead and, try to fix this. This is not something that is fixable. And I think that's really the point,
I don't
in this whole conversation is it's not, well, anything can be fixed, but the probability of it being fixed is nil.
If it could be fixed, a lot of these things would not be happening now and in the future. I hate to say it, but let's face it, they're not going to end. We all know they're not going to end. We'll hear some other tragic story of something like this happening again someplace in the state or wherever.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Yeah.
Yikes. I don't even like talking about it.
No, well, there was
personally,
change the subject.
I know. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a minute and talk about happy thoughts right here on SNSN.
You see the signs everywhere. No alcohol if under 21. No tobacco under 21. No vaping supplies under 21. It's 21 for a reason.
Youth that use alcohol are more likely to engage in other risky behaviors, such as gambling. Learn the warning signs and how to talk to your children about addiction.
It's 21 for a reason. Brought to you by CIRAC and funded in partnership with SAMHSA. Find out more at CIRACCT.org.
Hi, this is Lisa Griffin of Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank. Well, some banks offer checking account rewards, and some banks rebate ATM withdrawal fees. At Eastern, we say, why choose? Check out our Kasasa checking accounts and find out how you can get both. For more information, visit bankeasternct.com, call us at 860-889-7381, or stop by any of our branch locations today. Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank with offices in Norwich, Jewett City, and Plainfield. Member FDIC. Do you, Kasasa?
Your side. Women can have it all, including heart attacks. But symptoms like jaw pain, nausea, unusual fatigue, dizziness, and backache are often different and more subtle than for a man. The fact is, heart disease is the #1 killer of women. Know the signs. Learn more at getheartchecked.org. From Women's Heart Alliance, in partnership with Women Heart.
Your community radio.
Live from Main Street.
Mike Minarski and Paul Lash in the morning and 80s all day and night.
SN.
Like they always say things that aren't stupid usually. And when they are stupid, it's funny.
And they are stupid, it's funny. Paul's got the weather forecast. Go!
Okay, right now the temperature, hey, we're up to 41 degrees, so it's definitely it's warming up. Mostly sunny skies this morning will become overcast later on this afternoon. Temperatures will be somewhere around 57 degrees. Again, the wind between 10 to 15 miles per hour. But tonight, rain likely. Lows somewhere around 42 degrees. Again, the wind will blow. It's going to be like 15 to 25, so the wind's going to pick up overnight. Chance of rain will be somewhere around 100%, so expect the rainy Monday night. And, of course, for Tuesday, it's going to be cloudy early and partial sunshine expected late in the afternoon. Highs will be somewhere around 53 degrees. And again, the wind 10 to 20 miles per hour. Mm-hmm. The wind is what gets you. It's beautiful outside. But
I heard there was supposed to be gusts of like up to 40 to 50.
Well, this is saying 25, so maybe in the central part of the state. And of course, for Tuesday evening, it'll be partly cloudy skies. Those somewhere around 38 degrees. And that's your weather from SNSN on this Monday, 04/18/2022. 2022.
All right, so we probably talked that subject into the ground a little bit, about car accidents, motorcycle accidents, especially when it deals with kids, and teenagers, and what can be done to go ahead and either prevent that or at least bring it more top of mind. And just a couple of old boneheads like us, it's basically what would we come down to? Talk about it. Talk about it. I think that's really all. That's probably the best solution, especially when it comes to your kids.
Yeah. Well, maybe somebody heard, and maybe somebody will just remind their kids when they go out for an evening or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the whole thought.
What are you looking at?
Well, I thought I heard a noise, somebody thumping, but
that was me on the floor here.
Oh, that was you thumping?
Yeah,
do a little dance, huh?
Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight.
Yep.
Easter was yesterday, Mr. Lash.
Yes, it was.
What is the best Easter food?
I think everybody has, at least majority of people have ham.
Okay.
I mean, we had ham. It was good.
Yeah. As did we. We went over to Melissa's parents' house and it was delicious.
You have all the fixes that go along with the ham, the potatoes and veggies and all the other stuff.
I was sitting at the table and Melissa's mother kept bringing stuff and I'm like, I already got a full plate and she's still bringing stuff out. And I'm like, there's more?
They don't make plates as big. The problem today is the plates are too small.
Well, no, that's really funny because the plate that I had had a little all around it, had a little lip.
Oh my god!
So I could fill it up like a bucket.
Oh wow! I've never seen those plates.
It was just like about like I don't know, like a half inch or something like that.
Wow!
Yeah, and it was really cool. I'm like,
wow!
I'm like, this is great.
Yeah,
I don't have to worry about knocking things off the plate or nothing like that because it'll catch it.
Yeah.
And I can get every morsel.
And all the desserts that were out there because a lot of people, give up certain foods for Lent and everything else. And they, now you can really get into eating all those things you gave up for Lent,
Yeah. So I agree with you. I think ham is a big thing. I think lasagna seems to be more and more
Really?
holiday dinner kind of thing.
No, didn't have lasagna.
I know people that have lasagna for Christmas dinner.
Wow. Us is usually turkey or ham.
I think those are the staples. They have them both.
Some people have pork, like a pork roast.
Okay.
You know.
Oh, that's been something. Yeah, we talked about that actually. There was it's been more and more popular, either pork or beef roast.
Yeah.
You know, for Christmas and stuff. But
yeah, well, you get the pork with the ribs, all the ribs on them. And
yeah.
I forget what they call it, but
crown roast.
Yeah, something like that. You know, with the little ties on, little.
I know my meat.
Yeah, the ribs sticking up, the little things on the top of them. Yeah. No, we didn't have that. No,
we didn't have that.
Yeah, we had ham. So
it
was
ham?
good. The ham was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think ham is the big staple.
Yeah,
around Easter, and I think some people have turkey and ham at Christmas and lasagna. And lately I've been hearing more about beef roast or pork roast or something like that.
Yeah.
What else is there? I mean, I'm coming off of eating like a glutton yesterday. So
well, you always have the little hors d'oeuvres before, the deviled eggs.
I haven't had deviled eggs in years, and I love me some deviled eggs.
That's another thing you have.
Yeah,
or you have some chips with sour cream, and those are all the things you eat. Those are all the things you eat before you sit down.
Do you know how much I ate yesterday? I ate so much to the point that even an hour after dinner was over, we were leaving, and Bob says, "You want some ham? Take some ham and eggs in the morning." And I'm still like, I can't do anymore.
Well,
I can't do anymore.
That's what happens on ham. You eat on Easter. You eat so much that if you eat early in the afternoon, come around evening for dinner time, I don't want anything.
Oh no, but I thought about it this morning. I'm thinking,
oh, why did I take that ham?
I should have taken a little bit of ham, for to have a little breakfast or whatever.
Yeah.
But last night after, it's kind of like going grocery shopping after you've eaten.
Yeah.
You're not going to spend as much money unless compared to if you go grocery shopping and you're absolutely famished.
Yep.
Because then you buy everything.
Right. Exactly.
Everything.
Yeah. So everybody eats like a hog when it comes to Easter dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner.
Dinner.
Yeah. Not necessarily dinner, but the
well,
holidays.
Speak for yourself.
The holidays, you go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4th of July.
Yeah.
Labor Day.
No.
Memorial
Those
Day.
are hot dogs and hamburgers.
It's still a lot.
Yeah. You know what I seen the other
New
day?
Year's Day.
You ever see a
Groundhog Day?
You ever see a hot dog look like a hamburger patty?
No, tell me about that though. You had said
yeah, they make
that's like spam, isn't it?
No, they're beef franks flattened out to look like a hamburger.
Ugh.
So now when you buy hamburger rolls, you can either have hamburger or you can have a hot dog. They're pure beef. They're all Angus beef. Yeah.
I have seen hamburger in the shape of a hot dog.
Yeah, the other way around.
I have seen that. Those are actually, and they're in convenience stores. I've only seen them in convenience stores, and it was called a cheeseburger roll.
Wow.
And it was tasty.
Yeah.
It was tasty.
I can't see, I couldn't see much difference between if the hot dog is shaped like a hamburger. It just means that.
Yeah.
But I'm curious how they're going to taste, and I'm waiting for them to come in.
So the holidays are done for a while. What's next?
Memorial Day,
right? But not one of the big, huge ones, right? I mean, Memorial Day is special, but it's not like Easter or Christmas or Thanksgiving,
it's not like
right?
one of those holidays, but it's the start of the summer season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now we have kind of a void of holidays, right?
Yeah.
For now. However, there are holidays every single day, Paul, that people don't realize that you should be celebrating that you didn't know that existed in the first place.
Is there one that we can eat at?
No, well, you can eat at all of these.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So did you know that today is Easter Monday?
Yeah, I knew it was Easter Monday.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what that means, but yeah, I've heard it called. It's not like actually it pops up on a calendar.
Easter Monday takes place on the day after Easter. It's not a federal holiday in the United States or widely observed, but it is informally observed in North Dakota, where there is no school on the day. We got no school all week here. It is also commonly observed in Texas and Maryland, and in some cities in New York, Michigan, and Indiana. It was a public holiday in North Carolina from 1935 to 1987. Polish strongholds such as Chicago and many other cities celebrate it as something else.
Wow.
You know what it's called otherwise?
No.
And that's the next holiday.
Oh, what's the next holiday?
The next holiday is Dingus Day.
Dingus?
Dyngus.
What the hell's a dingus?
It's known as Wet Easter Monday. It's a Polish holiday popular in Poland, Ukraine, and in Polish communities in the United States. Similar celebrations are held in Hungary and the Czech Republic, Slovakia, blah, blah, blah. Celebration takes place over the Lenten season.
Wow.
It's associated with water and pussy willows. Males throw water on females and gently hit them with pussy willow branches. That sounds like fun.
It sounds like somebody's going to get arrested.
So that's Easter Monday / Dingus Day.
Well, let's forget about Dingus Day.
God. Good morning, Victoria. Thanks for showing up.
You wouldn't be able to do because.
Oh, Victoria, I liked your picture that you sent me this weekend. It was funny.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. It's Adult Autism Awareness Day. That is today.
Yep.
It's Boston Marathon Day.
Oh, today's the day of Boston Marathon?
Yeah. It's International Amateur Radio Day.
You don't hear about that too much anymore.
I love listening to shortwave.
Yeah, very rarely now do you hear much about amateur radio. It was big years ago. Now it's, I was going to do amateur radio years ago, but in order to pass
CQDX,
but in order to be able to talk on amateur radio, you had to take a code test.
Yeah,
and that's the one thing I couldn't do.
Morse code.
I just couldn't learn.
There's a no code test now.
Yeah, now there is, but years ago you had to pass the Morse code test. And I just couldn't remember all of the letters.
It's National Animal Crackers Day.
Oh,
that is today.
Oh, cool.
It's International Day for Monuments and Sites.
If there's any standing.
I was just going to say, cancel culture now. There's 7 left.
Yeah.
In the entire United States. Did I say income tax pay day?
Yes, today's tax day. Yep, today's tax day.
Newspaper Columnist Day. That is today.
That's a rare one.
Well, see, that's what I mean. These are the holidays that you didn't know that existed in the first place.
Yeah.
It's National Lineman Appreciation Day. Now, we're not talking about football linemen.
Talking about linemen.
Talking about, the ones that work for, say, like Eversource.
Yeah.
Or Jewett City Department of Public Utilities.
That is correct.
Here's an interesting one. Now, let's see if anybody's celebrating this one. You ready for this one, Paul?
I'm ready.
Because this one is a little unique. It's National Transfer Money to Your Daughter's Account Day. It's also known as Transfer Money to Your Daughter Day, and it's being observed today, and it's always on April 18th. And I think really it's self-explanatory.
Have you done that this morning?
Huh?
Have you transferred money this morning?
No.
Oh, so
not yet.
Oh, okay.
So, but I will do it just as a joke.
Yeah.
Let's see. It is National. I can never say it. Velociraptor.
No.
It's National Velociraptor Awareness Day.
Oh, terrific! I'll make sure I keep mark my calendar.
Oh my God. Today is dedicated to the Velociraptor, a small, fast, bird-like dinosaur.
Yeah.
I hear they're endangered. There were 2 species of the dinosaur, the second of which was not identified until 2008. Their name comes from the Latin words vilax, meaning swift, and raptor, meaning robber or plunderer.
Yeah, just what I need to have them flying over my head. Pick me up and take me away.
Velociraptors were about the size of a small turkey and could weigh about 33 pounds.
Oh, I thought they were bigger.
No, well, you think dinosaur, right?
Yeah, you would think they'd be bigger.
No, that's they're just little guys.
That's a mouthful for a dinosaur.
Yeah, that's a snack.
Yeah.
Except dinosaurs apparently were vegetarians.
Yeah.
for the most part. Today's Patriots Day.
That's why the marathon is on.
All right. And the Boston Red Sox will play at 11 o'clock today.
That's why.
They play 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's Pinata Day.
Oh.
It's a White House Easter egg roll.
Yeah. They can remember where they put them.
And it's Pet Owners Independence Day.
What does that mean?
What does that mean to be for pet owners' independence? What does your dog? Excuse me. What does your dog or cat do all day, Paul?
Sleep.
Does it clean the house? Does it pay the bills? Does it open the door for you?
I doubt it. Sleep.
Does it drive to the office each morning? Does it pick you up a pizza on the way home?
I don't think so.
No. Pet Owners Independence Day. These are the things that cats and dogs and other pets should be doing because pets and owners are able to switch roles for the day.
Wow.
I'm going to go home and have Howie and Henry cook dinner.
Yeah. You know what? The other thing I heard this morning on the news talking about pets, having your dog lick your face.
Yeah.
Not a good idea.
Why?
Because what the dogs generally do with other dogs.
Oh, yeah.
So they say that they carry, stuff that shouldn't be on your face.
Well,
They actually had a news article on it this morning. Yeah. So shouldn't let your dog lick you.
my dog Henry has me trained.
Yeah.
He comes up, and this is because he wants to be his belly rubbed.
Yeah.
He literally will jump up on the couch, jump up on my lap, and he'll kind of paw up a little bit. And his face is literally right in front of mine. And all of a sudden, licks my nose. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay. And I always kind of like personally, cut my lips like, because that would just be weird.
Yeah. Well, cats don't lick you.
And then he stops. And then you can see him trying to spin over because he wants you to pet his belly.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the one good thing about a cat doesn't lick you.
Huh?
They don't really lick you.
Some do.
They butt you.
We have one.
Yeah, we have one that butts the hell. Every time I go to make breakfast, right? Damn thing jumps up on the counter, ticks me off. I'm trying to make my coffee. It's got his head in my coffee cup. Get out of here.
Do you know what they're actually doing when they're butting up against you?
No.
They're putting their scent on you.
Oh, they put
so if they get lost, they can
find me.
They can find you. Yeah.
Oh.
It's the other thing too is like when you take them outside and they go to the bathroom, whatever, and all of a sudden they do the whole thing with their legs.
Yeah.
Most people think it's just to cover up or whatever. That's not what it is. Yeah. They have scent glands. Dogs do have scent glands in their paws.
Yeah.
So they're putting their scent down so
they don't get lost.
Yeah, so now they know.
Okay.
And and I'll tell you something. Howie, who's a little jerk, one of our Shih Tzus. Yeah. See, Henry's a good boy. Howie, not so much.
Yeah, there's always one in the family.
Yeah, there's always one in the family. And he got loose. And Henry is like, rah, 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 rah. He's trying to alert us of Howie's, jailbreak. And you know where he goes? Right down to the park. Because we take him down and he'll pee in the park.
Yeah.
So, and they can smell that stuff. They know exactly where to go. Cats are amazing like that.
Yeah. I'd be a little nervous where you live, though. Let them get down to the park by themselves.
And then 2 days ago, 2 days ago, Cameron and his friend took the dogs for a walk, and Howie got loose. He just break free. That's what he does. And Cameron's carrying him home. We're pulling up, and there's Cameron holding the dog. But cats walk in the litter box and then walk all over you.
Yep. Yeah, because their nails pick up the crap in there, and then they touch you. You're right. It's the same thing as the dog licking you.
Now we don't let the dogs anywhere near the cat box. So we have that kind of sectioned off because before they would get into the cat box or else they would eat their poop. Right? It's like Tootsie Rolls to them.
Okay.
Well,
move on.
You're getting ill. So anyway. All right, Paul. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Let's go enjoy that.
Yeah, it's already almost. No, it's up to 41 degrees.
It's 41 degrees, and
Yeah.
so let's hope it remains.
That's
really,
it's going to get warmer.
Huh?
It's going to get warmer.
Yeah. So, I just want to end today's little broadcast by saying, this weekend, although Easter weekend is usually a family weekend, people get together, talk about things that they've done throughout the year, especially people you haven't seen in a long time, and just kind of converse or plan things for the future. This weekend was full of tragic,
unfortunately,
events. Of course, we know about the automobile accident. And then last night, I found out at about 10:30 that one of my best friends lost their son yesterday. So my friend's name is Jen. Melissa and I both know her, and she lost her son.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know how or anything, but so hold him close. Hold him close.
Yeah,
don't ever assume.
Never know.
Never say never.
True.
Because that's the thing. So, all right, we will see you once again tomorrow. Thank you for joining us today, folks. We hope you have a wonderful Dingus Day.
Yep, Dingus.
That's what it is. That's one of the holidays.
I know.
All right.
I'm going to go find some willows.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. All right. Rich Waslick will be in tomorrow morning. We'll see you later.
Life is full of choices. At Jewett City Savings Bank, we can make one choice easy, finding the right checking account. We offer a range of affordable accounts to fit your budget and needs, and each gives you the freedom to access your money the way you want, online, through our mobile app, or with your debit card. It's your money and your choice. To learn more about the account that's right for you,